सविशाल बुद्धि पुलारविन्दयतपत्रनेत्रः श्रियत्वे भारत तेल पूर्ण प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमया प्रदीप
blessings of the Divine Mother. As we begin our beautiful night in devotion, tonight marks the first night of our beautiful yajna, where we've taken the wonderful opportunity to invoke the energy, the strength and the blessings of Sri Adi Shakti Devi Mata. She is called by many names and many forms, and she is called Adi Shakti, she is called Para Shakti Maya. Today we will worship Jagadamba Devi. And after performing beautiful puja and worship to the Mother, this is where we begin our beautiful night. Once more, Panditji, it's a blessing to be here in your wonderful Mandir. To all the devotees of this beautiful Mandir, it's a beautiful opportunity, a wonderful moment to be here once more, to elevate ourselves, to feel the energy, the blessings of Devi Mata. At this time, without further ado, let us all sit upright as we're about to join in our wonderful invocation, prayer and beautiful mantras, where we touch the feet of the Divine Mother, where we pray to Lord Ganesha, Lord Ganapati, and we begin with Omkar of the Divine. sacrificed their time, their efforts, their energy. They've gathered themselves in satsang and yajna to pray to the Divine Mother. She's called Parashakti Maya. She's Adi Shakti. She's Durga Mama. And tonight, while we've all gathered and assembled to create once more the energy of the heavens, we say, Lord, आपको बारंबार प्रणाम नमस्कार करता हूँ. For as we begin our night, we say, Lord, may you allow our minds to be focused. May we remove all the temptations from our thoughts and from our intellect. And as we concentrate on your feet, Lord, while we sit here tonight, allow all the wavering thoughts to disappear as we focus on your form. We begin this night by praying to that most powerful and divine form. He's the form who has shown the world how to become focused in anything that we want to do. He's called Pavanaputra. He's called Maha. He's called the Anjaliya. He's called Sankar. He's called Sri Hanuman. As we begin this night, Sri Hanuman. world will worship Adi Shakti Devi Mata. And we will begin the night with the beautiful energy and worship of the Mother. But as we now started with the Shri Hanuman Chalisa, let me hear that Jai one more time. Pawan Sudha Hanuman ki Jai Bhagwan. Ek baar Bajrang Bali ki Adi Shakti Durga Bhavani Mata ki. As we begin our beautiful night in worship, it is one of the most powerful nights in worship to the Divine Goddess. It is very important that at this time we also start the Hindu New Year as well. While we've now come out of that period that is called the Karavas, today, my friends, we begin with worship to Shri Jagadamba Mata. And it is said in life, no matter what we go through, no matter what problems we have in the world, many a times, not all the time, many a times the first person we turn to is Maha. Tonight we begin with worship to Jagadamba Devi, as we will see her power, her strength, her greatness. But the Katha tonight, as it is taken from the golden pages of Devi Bhagavatam speaks at the very beginning of this Katha. It speaks of the Divine Lord, who's none other than Bhagwan Shri Vishnu. The Katha begins where it is said once Lord Vishnu, he had a war to fight. He had to fight demons upon demons to ensure that the earth would have been filled with righteous people, goodness and success. Do you feel like you're battling demons every day? Do you feel like every day, every other day, every week you're encountering some demon, some rakshasa, some problem, some difficulty or the other? It is said Lord Vishnu, he decided to fight this huge war so that he will destroy all the rakshasas as much as he can, so that the world will become a better place. Sometimes we sit down and there's a saying, you don't need to go out into the world for trouble to meet you. You just need to sit where you are and trouble it will come. Scripture says Lord Vishnu decides to go out into the world and he will fight rakshasas, demons, negativity, negative energy. And when he goes into the world, he sees hundreds of rakshasas and one by one he will destroy them to make the world a better place. It is said for thousands of years Lord Vishnu will fight wars upon wars to destroy all the negative souls. And now he has become tired. After years he has become tired. He goes back to his Milky Way, his Milky Ocean. He lies down in his most beautiful posture. To those who know the posture of Lord Vishnu, he lies down on the Sheshnag. And he props his head, he props his shoulder and his head, and then he closes his eyes. And he says, after a long period of fights and wars, I will take rest now. Katha begins tonight, where Devi Mata, she is in the cosmos. She is energy pervading. She is the divine goddess. She consumes the energy of the universe and she also allows it to come back to all of us. And while we will receive her darshan tonight on this beautiful first night of Navratri, we begin where Maha Vishnu, Prabhu Vishnu Bhagwan, he lies down on his Sheshnag, he closes his eyes and he takes rest. Does God sleep? He closes the eyes and while he goes in that state of, that beautiful state of, as we say, nothingness, not even the thoughts will flow. He closes the eyes and we begin this night with a beautiful chant before we go in depth with the beautiful meaning of our life. Everybody sing along with me. Remember, being the first night, this is the night we build the energy, we build the vibration, we build that aura around us to cleanse us, to protect us. To all those who are here tonight, and there are millions or many people who are tuned in via once more Facebook and all the media ways, we extend the blessings of Devi Mata as we chant. But tonight, everybody, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Everybody सबको जारी. Hare Krishna, Hare, beautiful, Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama. क्या बात, गजानन स्वामी की. Beautiful chants to Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna tonight. For Lord Vishnu is about to take his rest, and while he will rest, listen. Jai Gopi. बिहारी सबको जय राधा जय कुंजरी क्या बात है Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 एक बार राम राम हरे Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki. In Devi Bhagavatam, Lord Vishnu, he has fought wars for years upon years and he has become tired. While he's tired, he can't get up to do anything more. He goes onto his Sheshnag, he lies down in that posture and he goes into a deep sleep, scripture says. You all know what is a deep sleep? How many people go in deep sleep when you sleep away? Anybody? There are three states of mind to an individual. There's what you call the waking state, there's what you call the sleep state, and there's what you call the deep sleep state. When you're in the waking state, you are doing what? You're doing what? Waking. I hope all are waking tonight. When you're in the sleep state, you are asleep. And you dream and so on. When you're in the deep sleep state, what happens? What happens? No, something happens. You hear this. You start snoring, you don't know anything. You go to sleep and you hear nothing, you wake up with nothing, you say, but I didn't dream anything. Time just flew, I just woke up, I don't know, but you went into a deep sleep state where the mind tapped into the consciousness and thought of nothing. You wake up and you said, but I wake up like I'm blank. What happened? What happened last night? What did I do to fall asleep? I can't remember anything because I just knocked out. That's called the deep sleep state. When Lord Vishnu fought wars for many years, he became so tired that when he lay down to sleep, there was nothing in his mind. He simply lay there and he just went into deep sleep state. There was nothingness in his mind. It is said when we go through or when we go to sleep and there's nothingness, that is when you allow the mind to have a proper rest. Do you know how many people go to sleep at night and when they wake up in the morning, they think to themselves that they would have had a proper rest, but then they wake up and said, but I'm tired. How many people go to sleep and wake up tired? It is because when you go to sleep at night, while your eyes are closed, the mind has been working still. The mind is still thinking, my children, my home, my job, my life, money, health, everything. And it's thinking and you go to sleep with everything there and the mind is still working. There's no deep sleep there. It's only sleep state. Lord Vishnu went into the deep sleep, and when he went to that deep sleep, he said in order for him to actually, as we say, knock out or go into that deep sleep state, he took his bow and he propped it by his head so that he wouldn't fall. If you look at the pictures of Lord Vishnu, he's always like this. While he's like this, propping his head with his hand, he took the bow. So just in case if the hand falls, the bow will prop, nothing will wake him up. At that point, being that he has destroyed so many Rakshasas in the world, it is only at that point where Lord Brahma, Lord Shankara Bholenath, part of the divine trinity. The trinity is that three gods. Who are the trinity? Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. We know that mantra. Guru Brahma Guru Guru Sakshat Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Ek baar aur, and this time everybody say it like you know it now. You ready? Gajanana Swami ki Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva have realized that the earth has been cleansed by all the Rakshasas. So they've decided at this point, you know what? We need to do a special yajna to give thanks. We are the Trinity, we are the three gods, but we must give thanks to all the deities and the devatas who are a part and parcel of helping to solve the problems of the world. Do you give thanks to the people in your life who help you become who you are? Have you ever heard that saying, you never dam the bridge that you cross? Yeah, one day you don't know if you have to go back there. You always be grateful. You always live a life of gratitude. You always be grateful for the people in your life who help make you. You always be grateful for the people who support you. You always be grateful for the people who are always standing there. Sometimes we give a blind eye to the simple or the best things in our lives that are there to support us. For example, mother, father. Matrideva bhava or Pitradeva bhava or Acharya Deva bhava. Mother, father. Do you know how many people live their daily lives and take mothers and fathers for granted? And the day mother passes away, then we stop to think, but you know, mommy used to do this. Mommy used to do that, he will do it now. Daddy used to do this and daddy would do that for me and daddy did that for me. Now I can't even do it on my own. People do not appreciate people in their lives until we lose them. The saying goes, you never miss the well till the water runs dry. Many people wait until it's too late and then we say, I should have known. I'm sorry, I regret, I should have known. Never live a life of regrets. Live to the best of your ability. Live to the best where you sit and you think and you analyze and you think in the most appropriate way, guided by your preceptors and your gurus and your spiritual leaders, so that when that day comes, you don't say, I regret, but you say, you know what, thank God I did what I did. I can sleep comfortable now. There have so many people who come to me as a Pandit and they say, Panditji, you know what, I never did what I had to do for my mother. Now she's passed. I wish I could have gone one more time. Never live like that. While you can do it now, do it. Scripture says, Lord Brahma, Prabhu Shankar, they would like to do a yajna to give thanks to all the devatas who have supported them. But in order to perform a proper yajna, they need Trimurti. They need the three gods. It must be Brahmadev, Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva. But Lord Vishnu isn't there. So somebody find Lord Vishnu, because we need to work together to once more bring that energy. We must work together to create the energy. That is like tonight. Binu sat sangavi vekarna hoi Rama kripa binu. Satsang is coming together, united with pure thoughts and pure mind. Do you think Panditji can come this afternoon and sit and do puja by himself? They had to work together. And while working together, somebody had to make the offering. Someone had to light the fire. Someone had to touch to make the offering into the Navgraha. Everybody has to take part. When we do prayer and worship, it is about coming together. It is about unity, love. We must stop the fights, the arguments, the tension. When we go to holy places, that is the place you find more trouble. Not so? Some people say, I invite people. Some people come to the Mandir and not this one, this one different. You tell devotees come to the Mandir and that's when you will hear somebody say, well, no, not me. Because every Mandir has some problem. Is that true? Isn't it the Mandir the place of God? Then the Mandir is not the problem? Yeah, a little blame nobody. It is us who create the problems. Satsangastve nissangatvam, nissangatve nirmohatvam. Coming together, united with harmony, love. That is what builds the aura. Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva must work together to ensure that the yajna becomes a success. But Lord Vishnu is fast asleep. So what will they do? Lord Brahma says, I will come up with a plan. Shankar Bolena, come, I wanna. They've decided to go up now to Vaikunt along with some of the Ganas of Lord Shiva and some of the Brahma Bhaktas. And they've gone to Lord Vishnu's loka. And while they are looking at Lord Vishnu, he's fast asleep. We need to wake him up. But in order to wake him up, we need to know how to do it the appropriate way or the proper way. Because if you wake him up in a bad mood, trouble can come. You're like when you're sleeping, somebody come and just pull you off the bed. No. Jai Bhagwan. If that happened, the wrong one come out in you, not so? You must know how you wake up that person. You must take time. I remember when we were small and we had to go to Mandir and you see time come to go Mandir and you didn't get off the bed. Mommy come and drag you off the bed and you get up with that frame of mind. No, you don't even want to hear Mandir. Not so? You don't even want to hear prayers or food or let's go or nothing, because you wake up in a state of mind. Every day when you wake up, if you must get up by 8 o'clock, you must take 10-15 minutes before, get up and just be there. Allow the mind or the subtle thoughts just to gather. You must prep yourself. You must prepare. Well, today I have to do this and I have to do that and I have to do that. And make up your mind. Prepare yourselves for that day. When you get up and you just go at it, sometimes you don't know how strong mentally, emotionally, and spiritually you will be to fight that day. Lord Vishnu is asleep. Brahmadev and Lord Shankar wants to wake him up. They're thinking of what plan they could do and what could they really do in order to wake him up, but they don't know. So they're starting to discuss with one another, what should we do to wake up Prabhu Vishnu? And while they're thinking about something in mind and something to wake up the Lord, this is the idea that comes. It is said at that point, Lord Brahma whispers in the ears of Lord Shiva. He says we need to send somebody to wake him up, because if Lord Vishnu wakes up in a bad mood, he might take out that temper, that anger on the person. Don't let it be us. Send somebody. Let us send somebody to do the job. So Lord Brahmadev, he closes his eyes. And by closing the eyes, he starts to chant his own mantra. Om Brahmadev Namaha. Om Brahmadev Namaha. Om Brahmadev Namaha. Om Brahmadev Namaha. And he holds his hands like this and he closes it together and he's chanting Om Brahmadev Namaha. And he feels the energy coming from within himself. He is the creator of the universe. So he's about to create something. That is his job. That is what he does. He creates. Om Brahmadev Namaha. And then suddenly a light starts to shine within his hands. Om Brahmadev Namaha. And while the light is about to shine, suddenly you will see him move one of his hands. And when he opens the hand from that light, when the light diminishes, you suddenly see a worm. A worm is in his hand. And he looks at the worm, and scripture says today, he says, today, little one, I've created you with power and strength. And today I will give you a name. Today I will give you a powerful name. Your name will be Varmi. Your name will be Vamri. And while this will be your name, I have a task for you. All of us have been born in the world to perform some task. He says today you are born, you are a worm, and you have been created for a purpose. What is your purpose? To go and wake up Lord Vishnu. What is your purpose tonight? Just like the worm has been created for a purpose, do you know what is your purpose? Do you know what you've come in the world to do? We live this robotic reaction. We wake up and we do what we have to do. We brush our teeth, we eat something, we get dressed, we go to work, we come back home. Look at television, see about the kids, go back to sleep. You eat, you go to sleep, you wake up again. This reaction goes again and again, robotic. Every day is the same thing. What have you come in the world to do? When we see ordinary people live a life where they've achieved extraordinary things in the world, and we ask how and why, it is not because they are extraordinary, it is because they have found their purpose and they've gone for it. Anybody can do it. Not everybody takes that motivation within themselves to find a spark as to what I should do. Not everybody can become a seamstress. Not everybody can become a tailor. Not everybody can become a musician. Not everybody can become a policeman. Not everybody can become a doctor. Everybody can try, but not everybody will perfect it. We can go to all the classes and learn as much as we can from the most professional person, but at the end of it, not everybody will perfect what they've learned unless that is what you've been created and born to do. And that is why I remember the example of me trying to plant. I think I gave this once. When I tried to plant, my uncle was planting lettuce, and I saw his lettuce getting big, nice, fat lettuce like this, and I said, wow, look how nice, I wish I could plant that too. And he would go and he would pay about 25 cents or maybe 50 cents for one baby lettuce like this. And I said, you know, uncle, that looks so good. Can I learn to plant like you? He says, come, let me teach you. We went to the same shop and he bought about 20 little baby lettuce plants like this. And I took 5 of it and he took 15. And he took it home and there he showed me. He says, come, let me show you how to plant it. And I took a little pot and I planted it and he helped me plant it and he showed me what to do and he planted his. He told me what to put in the mixture when I'm going to water it as well. And I'm going to tell you. He told me what to put in the mixture. He told me when to water it. He told me where to put it. It was not far from his. And while it started to grow, every day, every morning when he has to water, I'm going to water my plants. Every afternoon he's going to water, I will go and water as well. And after 2 weeks, his lettuce was big and nice, rounded, beautiful, filled to the inside. After 2 weeks, mine was like a ladder. One leaf here, one leaf there, and like this is coming up in the air. And I said, but I did the same thing. It got the same sunlight. It got the same everything. But yet mine is so different and it's not like yours. Why? And he says, son, don't worry, you're going to learn. Not everybody has the hand to do it. Have you ever heard that? Not everybody has that hand. We have come in the world for a purpose. What is your purpose? Today, the worm has been born. And what is the purpose of the worm? The purpose of the worm is to wake up Lord Vishnu. The worm looks at Lord Vishnu fast asleep and says, but I don't want to be the one who will face the brunt of the energy of Lord Vishnu. He's Mahavishnu. He's leaning on his bow. The string is right by his ear. If I only go there and I make noise, he's going to get up. So the worm is scared. And before he goes, the worm speaks to Lord Shiva. And the worm says, Mahadev, you are Mahadev. If you do something to Lord Vishnu and he becomes upset, he won't do you anything. I'm a little worm. He might burn me into pieces. What will I do when he wakes up and he's angry at me? Who will save me then? And Lord Shiva then says to the worm, he says, what you do in this world is a reflection of your karma and your karmic actions. And he says how you live your life. He says one day when you depart, the good that you would have done with your life is what will matter. We live our lives every single day. We say no man is perfect in the world. But how much good do we do every day so that when we die, our good surpasses the bad that we've done? Live a good life. Help others. Lift the spirits of others. Lift the energy of others. Make others happy. Make people smile. Make people contented. Make people love to be around you. Have you ever found there are people who love to be around you? And there are certain people, when you see them, you want to run? Be that person where people want to be around you. They want to stand around you and not run away from you. But while the worm is about to go to Lord Vishnu, listen what happens. Narayanam Nirakaram Naraviram Narotamam Pavitram Paramanandam Krishna Mandir Jagadguru Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Harte Jnana Ekiham Purjaniya Yata Karta Sabya Sata Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya The worm goes by Lord Vishnu, and while the worm is going there, it is said the worm is thinking in his mind, what have I done to go through this? I have now been created. I wonder what I would have done previously to this bird, that at this time I will go and now I may have to face the anger of Lord Vishnu. He's thinking of all the thoughts in his mind. And there he goes to Prabhu Vishnu Bhagavan. And when he reaches there, he looks at the Lord in his most beautiful form. And the Lord is fast asleep. And he's wondering what to do next. And Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva together, they look at him and they say, this is what you will do. You will bite at the string of the bow. And after biting on the string of the bow, the string will burst. It will create a loud sound. And with the popping of the bow, the Lord will wake up. After that, you can disappear. Don't let him see you. You can go fast away from that point onwards. So the worm says, okay, that is a plan. Knowing that I can go as fast as I can, he decides to go. He goes by the bow and listen. Everybody, go! Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate. Gajanana Swami ki. You are waking? Umapati Mahadeva ki. Beautiful. While we speak about the worm is about to go to Lord Vishnu. He goes and he crawls behind the Lord. He goes by the bow. The bow is right there. And the string is passing right here. And he thinks to himself, you know what? If I bite, according to Lord Shiva, if I bite at the string and the string pops, it will create a sound in which string bursts, my friends. And immediately that worm starts to crawl its way and he starts to go. And while he's going, he crawls down from the Sheshnag and he's about to now go to the side where he will hide. And while he's waiting to hear the anger, everybody's waiting to see what is taking place, to see if Lord Vishnu had opened his eyes. All of a sudden, by looking at the image of Lord Vishnu, what did they see? Hara Hara Govinda. You know what they saw? They saw blood oozing from the neck of Lord Vishnu. The blood was oozing onto his hand. And all of a sudden, Brahmadev looks and he says, Arey, what is going on? Lord Shankar says, Hari, Hara Hara Bholenath. And the Ganas, tears started to flow from their eyes. What has happened today? It is said while Lord Vishnu was sleeping and the bow, the string had burst. The string, my friends, as soon as it popped, it whirled back to the neck of the Lord and it cut the head of Lord Vishnu. And the head simply rolled to the ground of the Sheshnag and rolled into the waters of the Milky Sagar. It is said the head of Lord Vishnu has been cut and the body lies there, and Lord Vishnu lies there without energy and without strength. The Ganas are starting to cry. Look at what has happened. How has this happened when we have planned that we will simply burst the bow? Lord Shankar, he looks at the body of Lord Vishnu and he says, what will we do now? And there little teardrops are starting to roll down the cheeks of Prabhu Shankar. Hara Hara Govinda. Hare Gopala. Hara Hara Govinda. Hare Gopala. And Brahmadev, he doesn't know what to do. He says, I am the creator. He's the preserver. And if he's not alive, who will preserve the world? If Lord Vishnu has lost his form and his energy, how is this possible? He is Maha Vishnu Bhagwan. And all the Ganas have come together. Brahmadev, can you bring him back? No, I can't. Prabhu Shankar, can you bring him back? No, I can't. So how will we bring back the Lord? Brahmadev says everything happens for a reason in this world. We have lost the great Mahavishnu, but everything happens for a reason in this world. He probably would have done something for this to happen. And then he says, oh, I remember. I think I know what it is. You see, one day when Lord Vishnu was lying down in a Sheshnag, Goddess Lakshmi Mata was passing by his consort. And she looked at Lord Vishnu. And while she's looking at Lord Vishnu starts to smile with her. And while he's smiling with her, she looks at him, not knowing why he's smiling. And she says, why is he laughing at me? He's smiling.